I think we're live, buddy. I think we're good to go.
All right, Andy. Well, let me check us out here. Oh yeah, we're looking good.
All right, guys, give me a minute. I will be right over there. Check out the flag there that we got from Love That Danhausen. Yeah, we like that. Already got over there. What am I doing? Already got a drink. What am I doing? All right, guys. Anyway. Well, what's up, guys? Welcome to Raw Material Andy. And, yeah, dude, check out the flag. Yeah, I love it. It's backwards in the camera, so you don't get the full effect of it. But you know what, guys? You know what? What am I doing? Boom! Check this out. Yeah. We got some, oh man, I got some really cool stuff. But yeah, guys, that's our little background. Of course, we're going to be doing something pretty interesting in here today. So, all right, let's get into it. So, guys, of course, as you know, here on Raw Material Andy, we freaking love that Danhausen. Of course, we got the shirt. We got this jacket is perfect with this shirt. I mean, I know it's a little bit of a different color red, but with the bright red in the background, it really makes it pop. I don't know. That was this a fucking style theory from Raw Material Andy? Come on, Andy. You're not Amy. You're Andy. Come on, get with it. Anyway. Oh god, I had to mention that. I was just watching a style theory video before I jumped on this one. It was a really good one, but well, you know, whatever. But hey, I love Cads. Welcome back. Yeah, guys. So here's what we're gonna do. Now I know you probably, if you have been following the Danhausen series here on Raw Material Andy, unboxing Danhausen, I want to talk about that a little bit before we get into this because some things are gonna change on this playlist as well. It was just pretty much a Danhausen only playlist, but we are going to start adding in some other things, like some WWE theories that I have, some predictions, some other unboxings, and stuff like that, because I don't want it to just be Danhausen, because Danhausen isn't the only wrestler that I love out there. Now, Danhausen and Bray Wyatt are the reason why I got back into wrestling again, because there was a while there where I fell off. For a long time. I'm going to pretty much just around the time when all that Nexus shit was gone, I pretty much didn't watch it. I didn't care for it. I still don't even like Wade Barrett. No offense if any of you do. I don't like his voice at all, and I just didn't like him as a character. But he's a great wrestler, of course, you know. Just like that Chris Masters guy. Everybody forgets about that guy, but he was just a snob bitch, but a great wrestler, nonetheless. But Danhausen is also a great wrestler. He's one of those gimmick wrestlers. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but there's a little bit of comedy in it. They use props. They do some really cool stuff. Adrian, hey, welcome to the stream. I hope you like and subscribe, buddy. We're talking about Danhausen here. We love that Danhausen here at Raw Material Andy. And guys, you know what? I'm not being promoted or anything like that or sponsored, nothing, but go love that Danhausen. That is his YouTube channel. He's an interesting character, guys. Painted face and a voice. Of course, it's some of the inspiration behind what we do here at Raw Material Andy. In fact, actually, it's something that I've done for a long time since I was a kid. Is just he made it so much more realer by bringing it into a public light and being this painted face character with a voice. I loved it. It reminded me of Danny Phil from like Cradle Fills, or just like the Joker, or just any painted character that you could think of that you love that has this crazy voice. Danhausen is right up there with it for me. You know, I put him up there in very high esteem. This guy, you know, like I said in other videos, you can check him out, but he came from almost giving up and not living his dream to now being on a t-shirt. I mean the dude has, I got his flag in my background. I got action figures galore of this dude, and it's his fault too. You know what? I blame Danhausen. You know, I do. I blame him for my action figure buying fit that I've been in. I've been buying FNAF figures, Resident Evil figures, freaking Middle Earth figures, freaking wrestlers, because this guy got me back into it. Because way back in Raw Material Andy started with an unboxing of a Danhausen action figure, and now here we are 2 years later, and we're still unboxing Danhausen action figures. So why not, dude? I think everybody out there who loves wrestling or loves action figures has always thought, man, it'd be really cool if I could be an action figure. I would love to see myself as an action figure. Not like a Funko Pop one. I mean, that'd be cool too, but like an action figure. It'd be, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think it'd be cool. The wrestling games have introduced action figure avatars into the actual game that you can play with. Like 2K24 had what had Cody Rhodes, you know, and then 2.5 I think has Bray Wyatt and somebody else, probably Roman Reigns and a couple other people. But still, it's pretty cool. You know, the action figure thing is cool. And I haven't, you know, really thought anything. But anyway, guys, yeah, you're on Raw Material Andy. We throw some likes up there. So there's some comments if you know anything about Danhausen. If you're a fan of Danhausen, that would be awesome to know. But yeah, guys, like I said, this Danhausen playlist is going to turn into a little bit more than just Danhausen. We're going to throw some WWE stuff in there. We're going to throw some other stuff in there, just stuff about wrestling in general that I want to do. I got two other wrestling playlists. If you guys are into the gaming aspect of wrestling, I want to talk about that a little bit here too, real quick, and then we are going to get into the main thing of this. But I figure, hey, if we're going to do a Danhausen video, let's talk about wrestling. Let's get into it. I have two other playlists here on Raw Material Andy. One is called Raw Material Andy Wrestling. The premise of it is simple. It's me and that voice character. Me, guys. I'm the one, me and Andy ringside announce those matches for you. Yes, I know you guys are seeing me talk as that voice. That is what it is. That's my gimmick here on Raw Material Andy. There's voice, and then there's Mandy in the background, then there's me. It's the gimmick. It's what I got here. It's pretty cool. I think it's great. But me and that voice announce the matches for you in the Raw Material Andy Wrestling playlist that's on here. There is a lot of videos. There are a lot of seasons. I'm going to warn you. In the third season, I get a little bit irritable. Because the game started getting broken. 2K24 started getting broken at the end there. At some of them, I think like the third DLC, it started getting buggy and weird. And I know some of you know what I'm talking about. I even got footage in some of the gameplay where shit's going wacky and just none of it makes any sense. Here's Butta Stein, my co-host. He's been joining me in every video today. I'm down with that. I'm fine. He loves that Danhausen too. I guess I don't know what this cat likes. He's like food, pets, and a clean litter box, dude. Other than that, you love that Danhausen. Really, you better love that Danhausen, dude. Okay, man. No more friskies if you don't. Right? No, dude. No, I couldn't even say no if I could. I mean, look at that. Like that guy will eat me if I say no. I have to give him the food. I have to at this point for my own survival. But anyway, sorry guys. I like jokes here, but no. But that's Raw Material Andy Wrestling, guys. It's me and the voice announcing the matches. We fill in the vacant titles. There are titles that you can put on the line in that game, and we just fill them up with random characters. Now, the first season is the straight-up roster. The second season, I start sprinkling in created characters. And then the third season is just straight up all my created characters, like family members, just my cat. I even made a dude for my cat, okay? I'm not kidding. There is a Butta Stein in WWE 2K24 on Raw Material Andy. He exists, okay? Go check it out. You would love it. Another thing I decided to do, and then we're gonna get with the game stuff, guys. I promise. But and we'll get into the Danhausen right away. I'm sorry. I like talking about wrestling, and you guys, I hope you enjoy it. We have another playlist that is pretty much just WWE 2K24, well, it's going to turn into WWE seasons gameplay, pretty much, where we played 2K24. We played 3 seasons of that, dude. We played 2 of the male, because there's 2 different paths, and then we played 1 of the female. Really good stuff. A lot of amateur mistakes, because that's what we do here at Raw Material Andy. A lot of technical difficulties. Voice likes to call me, what is that voice? And I'll quote it for you. I call you a technical difficultist bitch. That's what I call you, Andy. That word is very offensive, but that's what I am. I am a technical difficultist. Whatever, it's cool, okay? But, we still love that Danhausen, alright? But no, guys, as far as the gaming is concerned, that's the 2 other wrestling playlists that I have on here. This one's gonna start getting more videos integrated in it that's not just Danhausen. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into this thing. So, you guys remember probably a while back, maybe the last video or the video before this, we did a Danhausen video where I got one of these. This one's signed, so of course I was like, hey, I'm not going to open that one, because I didn't want to on screen, but I love getting the copies and opening them up here on the channel so we can actually check them out, pull them out, actually look at this guy and see how great he is and see if it's, worth even getting if you are a Danhausen fan. This one that I got signed. I also got this one with it at the same time. Both of them were signed. I got them from AEW. So, I mean, I'm not being sponsored on them, but that's where I got these. Are they authentic? I like to believe they are. I think they pretty much are. I mean, even Danhausen mentions signing some of these things in his video. But yeah, the Micro Brawler is pretty cool. A lot of people... I got a couple comments on the Micro Brawler. A lot of people liked that. They thought that was pretty cool. I did too. I think it was pretty cool. But yeah, guys, I figured what we could do is actually open up. Now, one of my favorite Danhausens, there's only 5,000 of these made, was this one right here, the Ring of Honor Danhausen. This is the first version of Danhausen that I saw that I saw was this guy right here, was the Ring of Honor Danhausen. I thought it was really cool, really good deal. I like this character, guys. He's just something that I feel is cool. So yeah, guys, we're gonna open this thing up. As far as how it's gonna sound, I'm gonna try not to make it as loud as I can, so we can open it up right here. But yeah, guys, yeah, I like Danhausen. Well, we say that we love that Danhausen. Inspiration, pretty much, guys. He, you know, I used to listen to a lot of death metal back in the day, so some of you are gonna probably know. Cradle of Filth is one of them. I don't really care what I do to this box, guys, so we're just gonna demolish it. We don't really care. This is how it is on Raw Material, Andy. We just get stupid with it. But like Dimmu Borgir, and of course you got Kiss. Kiss is another example. Oh my god. Alright guys, I'm just gonna rip this thing out. I know that's probably very loud. I'm sorry, Butterstein. You're probably like not happy right now. We'll just set it over there, buddy. Alright guys, so here's the deal. We got them out of the plastic, and I'm gonna just throw that over there, so I'll take care of it after the video. Alright, here we go, guys. Cut away from yourself. Yeah, I got you guys. I'm gonna, but this is the AEW Unleashed. Let's put that over there too. Unleashed Danhausen. That's the one I got in the box, so you guys will give you a little closer look at that. We don't want any injured YouTuber. Oh, I'm good. Don't worry, guys. I know how to use the knife, believe it or not. And then don't worry, in the next video, I'll end up cutting myself. But I love cats. I appreciate your concern. I do. Seriously, that is very nice of you to actually be concerned. Seriously, because, you know, you don't get a lot of that nowadays. Some people don't actually care about your well-being. But yeah, guys, this Danhausen here is pretty cool. It comes with some extra hands, of course, and some extra little, you know, an extra little head here. Pretty cool, dude. But we're just going to get the action figure out, guys. The hands and the head and all that. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but I don't feel that that is as important. I mean, we'll take a closer look at them. Sorry about the sound. Boom, that quick. That was good. But yeah, here, we'll take a little closer look at the heads if you want. It's just a basic one with his hair all kind of out of whack and stuff like that. And of course, the hands are the cursing hands that he has, the little cursing fingers. That's bad, you know, when he, you know, curses people. But as far as the action figure, guys, let's turn it this way. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to turn it this way a little bit. Yeah, but it's time we're gonna get you in the screen here a little bit, buddy. Just so we can get a good, nice little look at this Danhausen here. The lighting's a little bit better this way, guys. Sorry about my cat in the background, but yeah, this is the AEW Unleashed Danhausen, actually out of the package, and it's pretty cool. The standard, you know, feeling for the jacket that what you get from action figures, it actually bends in the midsection. That's pretty cool. Head's always, you know, pretty good, movable. Dude, very accurate as well. I will say, very accurate. You got the stitching of the teeth on his more modern suit that he had there in AEW for a while. You got, you know, the standard trunks and all that. Now, I don't know if the jacket and stuff does not come off or nothing, guys. This is how it looks. I know it's just a Danhausen. I get it, but hey, man, you know, we love that Danhausen. Obviously, dude, it looks pretty good. I like it for the most part for the AEW. You know, I don't watch a lot of the AEW product, and most of the thing that, you know, and there's a couple reasons for that, but we'll flip you guys around. Look at Butterstein. Look at this cat, guys. I'm telling you, he is a beastly cat. But all right, guys, let's get you around here, and we'll, buddy, I don't want to sit on you, okay? And you know, you're kind of sitting on the Danhausen mask. Yeah, I got one of the Danhausen masks, guys. Pretty cool. I like it. But yeah, guys, as far as like watching the AEW product, I like Toni Storm on there. She is just phenomenal. I really would not mind doing a video. Maybe if she has any merch or not, maybe guess, because I do like her. There's a couple people in AEW that are pretty good, but the only thing I get irritated about with AEW is when it comes to this guy right here. They're not using him really at all. I mean, he comes out with like a shock value, like, oh my god, Danhausen's still here, but that's it. They don't really do much with him. Now, I don't know if he's over his injuries and shit. He's still wrestling and stuff. He's doing wrestling actively, so I don't know if it's just a creative team doesn't know what to do with his character, or if there's some kind of whatever going around in the background, but for some reason AEW is not is not using a guy that they could be making a great brand off of. That's just my personal opinion. A lot of people look at Danhausen and probably think, maybe not. I don't know. I feel like the character is good enough to be able to carry a business for a little while. I mean, the guy was one of the highest selling merch people, and he didn't even hardly wrestle a match. I mean, it's insane. You know what I mean? Um, but that's the only thing about AEW that kind of makes me irritated is they get these good characters and they don't exactly know how to use them, or they just don't use them at all. I mean, you barely see this guy. Like when people are like when I think about Danhausen, it's like, oh yeah, he is still technically AEW, right? You know, like you don't know because he's on the independent scene and all that a lot, which I like. I like that he gets to be on the independent scene. He gets to be more himself. You know. But yeah, guys. I thought it'd be cool just to actually get on. I'm gonna throw that over there. To get on and unbox, this Danhausen right here that we got. This guy here with the autograph or whatever, because I thought it'd be cool to see one in the flesh. That's something I like to do. And it just blows my mind. Like I said, can you imagine one day just like almost giving up on everything, and you just change up a couple things about yourself, you throw a voice up, you paint your face, and now you're an action figure. It's like that could be possible. It's made this dude like it's amazing. But and yes, it's been around for a while. But yes, but guys, this is the Danhausen. Actually, it's Unrivaled. I'm sorry, I said Unleashed because I was thinking about that damn series there. But yeah, it's the Danhausen Unrivaled collection. It's pretty cool. It's number 118 in the series. There, it's fucking like itching and so it's stupid. But yeah, guys, not too bad, not too bad. So all right, guys. So yeah, of course, that was a short little video of Danhausen of just opening up this figure and getting it. But here, guys, if you want to see the box a little bit more, I can show you that. It just shows, Danhausen here. Of course, there it is, 118, like I said. It's pretty cool. But I like this one. It's signed. I actually got, I haven't got them yet. I think they're coming a little bit later than usual. But I got some cases coming to where I'm going to encase the actual signed one so nothing happens to them. I keep them pretty protected as it is. I only break them out for the videos because it's nice to have references, and it's pretty cool to show people, hey man, I have something really cool from some freaking dude out there randomly. Just it inspires me. It's pretty cool. But yeah, guys, that was Danhausen Unrivaled. Hopefully you like that. Hopefully it's cool. Now, like I said, this channel is going to change, or this playlist is going to change a little bit. We're going to throw in some other videos too. I got some other stuff in the future that I want to do that I think would be really cool. Talk about some favorite wrestlers I had too. I've been thinking about that too. Like Stone Cold. How many times I mentioned to him on the channel and on these series that Stone Cold is my guy, but we're gonna have a video on the fucking dude. So maybe we'll do something like that. Maybe we'll unbox some Stone Cold merch. Maybe we'll talk about, like some of these wrestlers and where they came from. Because I'm gonna be real with you guys. As far as wrestling is concerned, I wouldn't be holding a Danhausen action figure if it wasn't for like, my grandmother Nadine. Joe, what is up? Welcome, man. I am glad you are here. We're talking about, Danhausen. I was talking about a little bit where we're gonna take Raw Material Andy wrestling as far as wrestling itself. I'm going to do a separate video, guys, on one of the playlists explaining some other things too, because we might be doing some future wrestling games. I'm not sure if I'm going to do story mode on 2K25, but anyway, but all of this would not be possible if it wasn't for my grandmother Nadine, mainly. In the comments, give it up for my grandmother Nadine. She is not around anymore, but that's still all the more to like give it up for her, because she was awesome. Because I don't think she would have very much liked Danhausen. I know Danhausen wasn't around too much. It wasn't as big. My grandmother was pretty much gone in 2020. Danhausen kind of got a little bit more bigger around in between that time. So she didn't get to really know Danhausen. I don't think she would have very much liked him. I think she would have tolerated him enough, but she still would have loved the fact that I loved him and knew I would have, because I always loved the pain. I mean, Sting. Let's talk about Sting. We can go down the line, guys. But pretty much the gist of it is Danhausen is really cool. I like him. I do a lot of videos here about his stuff in general because I just like unboxing stuff. And yeah, guys, again, not being sponsored, don't even know the guy if I ever met him. I say this and it's pretty controversial. If I ever did meet him, I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to make the painted up Danhausen version, but I would actually like to just meet actual Donovan, the guy behind the paint, the dude that actually is working the character, because that's who I am, guys, with the voice and Mandy, people kind of, have been, making fun of me on that stuff and me and whatever, but I'm like, I love it because they're two characters, and not only that, dude, like, I don't have to, like, okay, let's just break it down. right? I don't have to hire any but voice actors or nothing because I am the voice actors. You know what I mean? I could pay myself. You know what I could do after I'm done with like recording a bunch of live streams? I can order some food and eat and chill out. You know what I mean? That's what we do. You know, it's cool. It's great. But no, we have a good time here at Raw Material Andy. Guys, yes, of course, we love that Danhausen. Go like and subscribe to his channel. I have no affiliation with him at all. But like I said, guys, I like doing videos where, you know, I talk about people who inspire me because, like I said, a lot of confidence in getting up and painting your face and doing a character. That's not an easy thing to do, and it takes a lot of courage to do that. And yeah, okay, so maybe it becomes second nature after a while and it becomes like an everyday thing, but it still takes courage to want to step into the light and be something you always wanted to be or put on. Like the voice for me is my Danhausen. Donovan is Andy, right? And then Danhausen is voice. That's how it works. I'm not saying they are whatever, but I'm saying that's where the inspiration comes from. It bounces back and forth. And you should give gratitude to the things that inspire you because in real reality, you would not be sitting in front of camera, you know, getting views from people or likes or, you know, getting subscriptions of talking about something that you love. And ideally, the person that is viewing this right now that you love with me. So awesome. This experience is great. And it comes from one little action figure. I know, a pointless little figure about an action figure we already looked at. But hey, it brought us together. We had a good time here. So did I. I hope you guys did too. So yeah, love that Danhausen. And guys, we got more videos coming up. I will explain more about what's going to happen with the change of this playlist and all that. Guys, like and subscribe. Spread the word about Raw Material Andy. Yes, this production is very different from, I guess, some stuff from on YouTube. And yes, me and the voice character are a little bit rough around the edges, but give us a chance here, guys, because I can imagine something here might pique your interest. We got plenty of playlists for you to look at if you don't love that Danhausen, which you should, because if you don't, then you'll be cursed. And who the hell wants to be cursed? Not me, not the Bud of Stein over here. You don't want to be cursed. No, I don't think you do either. So just try to love that Danhausen if you can. All right? But all right, guys. Spread your kid. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Protect your kids. Spread love and laughter. Love that Danhausen. And of course, as we always say here as well, always forward, never backwards. And guys, I can't wait for the future of this playlist. Like I said, it's not always going to be Danhausen anymore. We're going to sprinkle in some other stuff. So stick around, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. And as always, love that Danhausen. Yeah. Oh my God.